talking to you guys, our three-member audience, about climate change. What is climate change? Climate change can be put simply as a change in global or regional climate patterns. And you can see from this chart right here, obviously we're in 2016, so 2016 is right here, and you can see how high we are up in temperature, how much higher the increase in temperature is compared to the past, which you can see is all the way down here. So basically, we've had the hottest year, hottest 5-year span, hottest decade in the history of the world. What are the, I know we talk about climate change all the time, but what exactly does it do? What are its effects? Impacts, first of all, will be rising sea levels. Basically, the sea is rising higher, water comes up higher, and more water in the ocean comes up on the land, and basically land can disappear. Faster melting ice and snow, which obviously can add to the sea level rising. So the faster it melts, the more water we have, and then floods can lead to floods. We see all the time in countries, water coming up, for example, Florida. There has been some land that has disappeared in Florida, and whenever if we do have climate change, whether it's hundreds of years from now and it does affect, Florida could very well disappear. And there are more effects. These are not the only three. Here's a example for you. Mumbai in India is one of the places that's being highly affected by climate change. They are having very bad floods, but due to climate change, these floods have been worse, and it's affecting where they live. It's destroying their homes, and this is one of the pictures that it says climate change is frequent floods. It's just an example for you. Just some quick facts for you. Really give you a whole lot of facts about climate change. From 1901 to 2010, the global average sea level has rose by 19 centimeters due to, as I said earlier, warming and melted ice. So just some numbers for you. Also, carbon dioxide has increased by almost 50% since 1990 in our atmosphere, which is one of the biggest reasons why the Earth is becoming hotter. And emissions grew more quickly between 2000 and 2010 than in each of the previous 3 decades. So as I said, 110-year span, since 1990, So, but between 2000 and 2010, it's been hotter than the 3 previous decades combined. These are just a few examples of causes of climate change, Human activity is the biggest reason why scientists, or the majority of scientists, do think that why this is occurring. An increase in carbon dioxide, which is what scientists do believe is why the Earth is warming, but they think that the increase in carbon dioxide is caused by human activity. And since the Industrial Revolution, the carbon dioxide increase has been record-breaking. And also for nitrous oxide in our atmosphere, there's been an increase in that. And scientists also believe that the increase in nitrous oxide is caused by climate change. So these are just 3 examples of what are some of the causes of climate change. Here's a map for you, a little visual. This is obviously the map of the world, and you can see through the key right here, the darker it is, like 10 is extreme vulnerability. These are the places that are most vulnerable to climate change. You see, as I said earlier, I had a picture of India. Obviously, all basically of Asia is in the red, or the extreme dangers. Also, here in America, we're in the serious section. Also in Mexico, they're in the severe section of vulnerability to climate change. So you can see that this is not just a regional or a continental type thing. The whole world is vulnerable to this, and that's why it has become such a big topic around the world. what are some countries that are dealing with climate change, doing something about it? For example, Mexico, back in 2012, became the second country in the world to adopt laws to fight climate change. And quote from them, Mexico saying, despite our political differences, there is one thing over which we cannot be fighting all the time, and that is our parliamentary colleagues on the environment. The U.S. and climate change, the Clean Power Plan, or CPP, was a plan unveiled by President Obama, or the final plan introduced by President Obama in 2015, and it was first introduced by the Environmental Protection Agency. The significance of it is the first national limit on carbon pollution produced from power plants. And its main goals, two of its main goals are to cut carbon emission by 32% and double the fuel economy of passenger vehicles by 2025. Now, all this climate change, you know, it's not just talk. There are consequences on the economy, which is obviously an election period, it's a big topic. Damaged infrastructure, rising sea levels can damage infrastructure coming up on roads, hurting power lines. Also lost productivity, it interrupts daily life. So, I mean, if we have a flood, obviously nobody's going to work that day. Lost production hurts the economy. And it is very costly to repair infrastructure and stuff like that. Now, even though there are 97% of scientists believe that climate change is real, but even though it is a very small percentage, there are some deniers. For a couple reasons why they deny it. In 2014, there was record snowfall in some areas, and in 2014 also there was a record amount of ice in Antarctica. And I'm gonna leave you with a quote from a believer in climate change, everybody's favorite scientist, Bill Nye, who says climate change is happening and humans are causing it. And I think it's perhaps the most serious environmental issue facing us. And the last one is from a denier who happens to be the next president, Donald Trump, who says the concept of global warming was created by and for the Chinese in order to make U.S. factory non-competitive. Thank you.